South Asia is emerging as one of the most dynamic regions in the world. The BBIN sub-region, consisting of Bangladesh, Bhutan, India and Nepal, has been the growth driver of South Asia. The sub-region, bound historically by common socio-cultural and economic ties, houses a population of 1.67 billion, one-sixth of the global population. These four neighbors have common goals and aspirations to move towards a higher growth that is sustainable and inclusive. While it is generally believed that economic integration in this region is one of the lowest in the world, in reality, there is a great deal of interdependence and economic cooperation. The India-Nepal and India-Bhutan borders are unique examples where people of these countries move seamlessly as in a borderless world. But the trade and investment flows tell a different story, with significant potential remaining untapped. BBIN region features diverse means of regional connectivity, including road, rail, air, as well as inland waterways and marine links. The region also has over 100 land customs stations to handle bilateral trade, transit and passenger movement. BBIN countries are acutely conscious of the need to enhance competitiveness and economic integration for accelerating growth. The four neighbors are making earnest efforts for upgrading existing connectivity and developing infrastructure to facilitate trade. Strengthened regional cooperation has been a vital factor behind these initiatives. Notwithstanding the deficiencies, the ingenuity of entrepreneurs and innovativeness of regulators in the region has resulted in some uniquely successful examples of value chains that have been established and proliferated. This film attempts to showcase a few examples of entrepreneurial success as well as regulatory innovativeness in the region that have enabled some of the businesses to flourish to a global scale. This has also inspired some leading international brands to establish themselves in the region to capitalize on cross-border value chains. The Reliance Spinning Mills, operating in Nepal, sources their raw material from Mumbai in India. They export their range of finished products such as blended yarn and specialty yarn to India as well as 35 other countries through marine trade routes. Pran Agro, a Bangladesh-based entrepreneurship, is another example of a value chain operating between Bhutan and Bangladesh. Here, oranges from Bhutan are routed through India into Bangladesh for processing juices, marmalades and other finished products. The oranges cross two international borders in a few hours, with facilitation provided at the India-Bhutan and India-Bangladesh borders by the Indian Customs. Availability of key resources and skills in the BBIN countries has also encouraged transnational corporations to set up highly successful manufacturing and logistics operations. Their products serve markets across the world. Companies like Marks & Spencer, H&M and Zara have set up garment-related value and logistic chains in the sub-region. Administrations of BBIN countries have also partnered to find innovative solutions to facilitate regional trade. Illustratively, India and Bangladesh have collaborated to enable a supply chain for the Lafarge cement unit located in Sunamganj, Bangladesh. The unit sources limestone, an important raw material from Meghalaya, India, which is transported across the border to the factory of Lafarge on a conveyor belt and manufactures the end product, cement, which is then sold in both Bangladesh and India. The 17-kilometer-long conveyor belt, the world's second longest, is a customs-notified bilateral trade route. It is a collaborative and out-of-the-box idea of the customs administrations of India and Bangladesh to improve regional trade facilitation environment. Border Heart is another remarkable partnership idea. These trading centers, located along the geographical boundaries of India and Bangladesh, operate in a duty-free regime. They enable easy trading of goods between border residents of both nations, thereby improving the lives of people from remote and underserved areas. Recognizing the strong people-to-people ties underpinned by the shared culture and also the need for easier access to affordable healthcare, India and Bangladesh have been operating scheduled passenger train services, the Maitri Express and the Bandhan Express. To facilitate passengers in line with global best practices, customs and immigration clearances are now done at the origin and destination stations, Kolkata and Dhaka, for the people traveling by these trains. Despite these innovations and achievements, there are still issues at the borders impacting trade. To address these issues and to enhance regional integration and promote economic opportunities, the Asian Development Bank is assisting the administrations in improving infrastructure and regulatory capacities to catapult the region into a high-growth trajectory. As part of this effort, India is enhancing 2 road corridors in North Bengal with the assistance of the ADB. These roads, passing through India, would improve the connectivity of Bhutan and Nepal, respectively, with Bangladesh. This would have a positive impact on trade and people movement in the entire BBIN sub-region. Despite these innovations and achievements, there are still issues at the borders impacting trade. However, inadequate infrastructure and connectivity and lack of coordinated development facilities on both sides of the border still slow down movement of traffic, affect process efficiency, push up trade transaction costs and dilute regulatory effectiveness. Since it would be a hugely resource-intensive and time-taking process to set up elaborate and first-rate infrastructure at the 100-plus land customs stations in the region, the BBIN countries are in the process of identifying the pivotal border points for further development of critical infrastructure and connectivity. They are also planning deployment of electronic tracking systems to facilitate off-border clearances that would enable cargo clearance at inland locations and decongest borders. The BBIN Motor Vehicle Agreement under operationalization will allow seamless movement of vehicles from origin to destination and complement the off-border clearances.
The best way to run trucks in this region is to have inland customs clearances in inland locations like Kolkata and Dhaka, have seamless movement of trucks. An Indian truck can go seamlessly across to Bangladesh and vice versa. So one would want to avoid the border and look at this current model of having inland location customs clearances.
The customs processes in the sub-region are undergoing a number of planned improvements. The 4 neighbors have showcased proven ability and willingness to respond to mutual trade needs, innovate and sustain reforms. ADB-supported SASEC Trade Facilitation Strategic Framework is supporting the BBIN countries to improve standards and conformity assessments, transport facilitation and coordinated development of border infrastructure. This is bound to create a more prosperous and secure future for the entire sub-region and their people. With more developments planned and underway, the BBIN is gearing up to unleash its true potential, ready to power Asia into the 21st century.